Pisces, welcome to your tarot reading. So this is a request that I've had from a few people. I normally read for Virgos. I've decided to be the messenger for the Virgo sign. But I am open for requests for other signs. So when people request, whatever sign, I do the reading. So here I am. Sorry that have taken me a little longer. I've been really busy. And to tell you the truth, I can't read if I am tired. So I finally had a little time where I'm doing this. There's another sign that I'm reading for. And I have to check and see what was the other sign that I was asked for. But anyways, you will see in my channel that sometimes I will read. I always read for Virgo and sometimes for other people, and then I stopped. So not until it gets consistent where people feel like, they wanted me to read for their other signs, I won't do it. I want to thank everyone who has come and subscribed to my channel. It's quite exciting to see that more and more people are attracted to my readings. Thank you. As well as if this is your first time and you're attracted to, what I have to say, well, welcome. I always say that I don't describe everybody's situation, but the messages that I offer can always help anyone. If you want a private reading, I'm going to leave my email underneath. And the way I do it is that I charge $1 a minute, so $45 for 45 minutes. That's pretty much the standard. If it's an hour, I charge $75. And if you want one question, I charge $25. And I just go directly into the question. Normally in a normal reading, I, look at the energies, what's, talking, but if it's just a question, I will just go straight and answer it, okay? So, if you're interested, just send me an email and we can set something up. So let's begin, Pisces. So what I see here is that you're going through a time of transformation where you are making sure that whatever you've learned, you take it into account. So your energy right now is coming as the Phoenix. And that tells me that you've gone through a lot of difficult times in the last few years. And finally, you feel like you're starting to get ahead. It's like you're starting to see, that there's light at the end of the tunnel. And in this particular case is what I need to do in order to stop all of this suffering. It's like, you're fed up. You're basically come to that place where it's like, I'm tired of suffering. I'm tired of being the one who's always at a disadvantage. And I am going to do whatever it takes to get ahead. And for that, it's like you've decided to be very conscientious about your feelings in regards to people around you. Your feelings in regards to the relationships that you're creating. So here, together with the Phoenix, comes the energy of the elephant. And the elephant is also about wisdom, is somebody who's very noble, very loving, caring, and someone who is family-oriented. In Hinduism, Ganesha represents, the energy of the elephant, which is a very auspicious god. So here I could see that, you're very loving, very generous. But one of the things about the elephant is that when it perceives something that may not feel right, that may be the reason. It's like, that's enough for me to make a change. And I feel like this is the situation that is happening here with this partner or person that is coming out in your reading. Something happened between you and this person that you either felt like they didn't seem to be interested or committed enough, or something about them that was just suspicious to you that you said, you know what, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to me. I'm just going to go and, move on my own. Because right now, my peace of mind and tranquility is way more important than anything else. It's like I have an agenda. I've decided that these are my goals. This is what I want to attain. And if somebody's going to join me, they're going to have to shape and adapt to what I'm searching. Otherwise, I don't want it. The interesting thing is, Pisces, that this person that is coming out here, they seem to be very spiritual and very connected, just like you. They're coming with hawk energy and hummingbird. And these are two energies that are very, very in tune to their intuition. Very practical, very solution oriented. They have a lot to offer. And what happens is that sometimes, people are in their own spiritual evolution. And when you have people like yourselves coming together, that sometimes can create conflict because, you say, I want it this way, and they say, no, I want it that way. And if you cannot agree in an amicable way, it can create conflict. The energy of the hawk, they're seers. They can see things, from afar. They're very intuitive. But when they're out of harmony, they can become quite suspicious. Now, I don't feel like this person is like that because the way that I see their energy, I don't feel like that. They're coming with a lot of coins here, pentacles, which tells me that this is someone who really would like to have some sort of, relationship with you. And I want to make clear that if you're listening to the video and I'm not describing your situation, it's because Spirit is not connecting with your energy, okay? It's connecting to the people that are going through this. So I know there are many of you out there that will listen to this because you want some sort of relief or you want some sort of clarity. And with a lot of compassion and a lot of love, I'm going to tell you that if I'm not describing your situation, it's because I'm not reading for you. So, there's a lot of people out there that may be able to do that. I'm here connecting with the Pisces that have seen something about the person that you like and are interested in that is not right for you. It could be that maybe you heard something about them that you didn't like. It could just very well be that their attitude or their behavior does not dive with what you think in your head you want. Emotionally, they may threaten you or challenge you in a particular way that you're like, you know what, this is not worth it. But that's what I'm getting here. And the person that I'm, describing and I'm, showing up in my reading is someone who has a lot to offer. Because a lot of times what happens is that I do these readings and people are not listening or they're not hearing what they want to hear. And they just think it's because, well, you don't know what you're talking about. And it's like, well, it's not that I don't know. It's just that I'm reading the cards. And this is what the cards are telling me. So here you have a conflict, and you could have either gone to someone spiritually and talked about it, and that person helped you find clarity, or you could have just gone to a therapist, or you could have just relied on your own life lessons and said, you know what, I've gone through so much that now I can tell right away. And as soon as I see some kind of behavior that implies something that I've done before, I'm just going to release it. But whatever thing happened, or whatever the situation, that took, place, whatever it was that happened, Pisces, the one thing that I'm going to say for sure is that you made a decision that was very sudden and quickly. And it was so sudden that you did not even give the other person the opportunity to defend themselves. It's like you said, you know what, this is what I'm doing, done. You saw it from your perspective, you saw it from your own views, and that's all that matters. So you didn't give that person the opportunity to say, really? But what if it was this instead of that? So in some ways, I feel like you thought, well, that's the reason that I need to realize that this is too good to be true, so I'm letting it go. And you let it go. Because here with the Four of Cups, if you see, look at all the opportunities that you are being offered, but you're not paying attention to any of them. And that tells me that you are in your own world, in your own reality, and that's all it matters. And you're not seeing the other aspects of it, okay? That's why I am going to describe it in that way. It's like, I know what I know, and you know what? You're not going to change my mind. The element of earth here, right, it's coming upside down. So it tells me that, you know what? Right now you're in your own emotional reality, and that's the priority. And that's that's the energy that represents you. You guys are little fishes. You love the water. You love the emotions. No one can be better than you at that. And you know, you're very romantic, very idealistic at times. It doesn't mean that you're not responsible for the things you need to do, but you can get quite carried away with your emotions. And then to put all of that into practice or bring it into the real world, sometimes it can't happen. So you're dealing with somebody who's more practical and is more, you know, like down to earth, while you're more into the water element. So there's got to be some, you know, aspects of these personalities where you're saying, you know, no, I don't think so. And it's funny because they do think that there is a great potential in your relationship. Like, you have a lot to offer. They like you. They're interested in you, but you don't think that you have what it takes, or maybe you just don't want to invest. So, you know, they're coming with Aries. So they're coming with air and fire. And you're coming here with spirit and fire. So I feel like you're in this moment of transition where you're like, you know, there's more to life. And I'm going to go and find it in my own way. And whoever comes in, they're going to have to follow me this time instead of me following them. Otherwise, I just don't want it. And you have somebody here who's saying, you know what, I'm going to be somewhat flexible because all I want is somebody to meet me halfway. And I'm just using that as an example. I mean, it could just be very well that you're the one like that and they're that way, right? Or they're flying too high and they're out there in their own reality and you're like, well, what about me? What about my needs? And they're going on and on and on about what they want, but they're not really, you know, responding in a way that you feel like they're going to meet your needs. And because you can be so adaptable and so flexible and tolerant, you know, they feel like, oh yeah, you'll adjust, when in reality you're like, you know what, I've done that too many times. I'm not going to do it again. Or if I am, at least I'm going to have to feel safe. Because here Spirit is saying, you know, when the broken arrow comes up, it's like, you know, you won't have to protect yourself anymore. If you're feeling challenged or if you're feeling like you have to protect yourself, you don't have to anymore. And there is a change of plans here where you're just going to go for it your own way and say, you know, I'm just going to take that path where maybe not many people will follow me, but it's all right. I'm ready. And I know that along the way, sooner or later, I may end up finding somebody. So here, you know, your guides are saying, you know, embrace that peace, embrace that tranquility, and don't be surprised if something comes along the lines where you may have the opportunity to have a conversation and say what you need to say, or allow the other person to say what they need to say. But just come in peace. And I know you will, Pisces. You know, you're not a troublemaker. And the interesting thing that the only thing that can, you know, bring equilibrium between the two of you Yeah, you see, and here you're encouraged to do what's important to you with the Knight here. It's like find what's important to you. That's a priority. And the only thing that could bring equilibrium here between the two of you would be Sagittarius. So it's like, well, the common goal will be that you both are in search for something more. And it's what are we going to do in this path where, because I mean, there is that I feel like that's something in common that you both have. What will you need to do where it feels safe for you and it feels safe for them? I honestly think, Pisces, that this is someone who, it's a very good opportunity for you. And like I said, they're hoping that you change your mind. I feel like sometimes they think about you and they feel like, it would be nice if Pisces will change their mind because I really like them. I see the potential. So maybe what you don't see, they do. Because remember, with the Hawk, they're visionaries. They can see way beyond. And they have a tendency to see things a lot faster than anybody else. So sometimes what they see, other people cannot. And that could sometimes get them into trouble. Because if other people don't see what they see it as, what are you talking about? I can suffer from that, I'm a visionary myself, and sometimes I've learned not to say anything anymore because I notice that energy has to unfold in a particular way so that people can have their own experiences. But I used to be that way. I used to anticipate a lot and say things before other people could see it, and people would look at me like, are you going crazy? And that would create a lot of resistance. So something felt threatening or something felt like it was not safe for you that you decided to let go. And now this person is wondering, what the heck? What did I do? And I don't really think it has to do with that person. I think it's more to do with you, how you feel. A lot of lessons you've learned in the past where you put yourself in situations that were not healthy, and you still carrying those things on. And although you've changed a lot, and although you finally are starting to feel strong and healthy, they're still there. So if you have a question, Pisces, about whether to give this person a chance or no, I would say this person, it would be a good person for you. If it's a situation where somebody cheated on you, I would say don't. Of course. If you've been abused, cheated, come on. I mean, a lot of times people say, oh, because I have my kids, I have to save this, I have to save that. Of course, I cannot tell you what to do. But under those circumstances, I'm sorry, I would say, I wouldn't. We have to look at people's actions and determine whether that person is good or not. It's not about what the person says, it's about what they do. So if that's the case, I would say, well, put things into balance. And see which one it's, showing where they are leaning towards. But don't let your fears get in the way of something good. Because a lot of times, our memories, our, things that we carry, the bittersweet, is what gets in the way of newer opportunities. And I don't know, but I feel like this person right now, and the way they're coming through, it's a very good thing for you. This is relationship material, Pisces. Sorry, my friends. Maybe it's not what you want to hear. But, it could also be that you just don't, you like this person, but not to have a relationship. like I said, maybe they, they are up there, and you feel like, maybe there's some worthiness thing going on where you feel like you're not good enough. And of course, I am saying all of these things not to say that you are that way. But remember, sometimes we have emotions that we do not see. We feel them, but we don't conscientiously know them. And I'm just kind of posing some of the things that may be. Am I saying that is you? No. So because sometimes, I describe things and people have overreacted and taken it very personal. And please don't. This is a general reading. So there are things within the story that is going to make sense, and there are things that are not going to. So be open to that, okay? But I'm reading for someone here who seemed to, in their heart, take their life lessons very serious. And I would too. But we got to be careful not to project. I'm a human being, and I've done that. And sometimes with all the spiritual knowledge that I have, I'm still human. And one of the things that I've learned in my path, I've met a lot of spiritual people. And one of the things that I've learned over time is that the more spiritual we become, sometimes we tend to think we know it all. And we come across, like, oh, I know this. And it's like the world, if it doesn't, move in the direction that we're moving, they don't know what they're doing. And, I was in that place until I got to the place that I thought, there's nothing wrong with people choosing differently than I do. And just because I have an idea about something, it doesn't mean that everybody else has to think in the same way. So when I talk to other people, I say, well, this is my belief. And I'm not here to challenge you or to make you change your mind. I'm just telling you what I know. So if you're asking me, this is my opinion. But I'm not here to try to prove anything to you or, wanting you to change my mind because you know better. So, when you get to that point where you start understanding the nature of this reality from, a spiritual perspective, you start realizing, we're all here exploring and learning and trying our own way. And what's wrong with that? So, you can create a relationship where there's a lot of freedom as long as two people can respect each other and, allow themselves to do their thing and then come together and enjoy their company. Anyways, I'm not here trying to lecture you, Pisces. I'm just kind of sharing, I know sometimes I'm Cuban. I speak with a lot of passion behind my words, but I mean well. And I hope that you guys take it that way. So all I know is right now that, there is that sense that you're taking a different path and you're leaving this behind. But just know that it's just part of the changes you're, going through. And yes, it is true. Thank God you finally are strong enough to, move beyond your, challenges. But you have somebody here who can be a nice potential. So it's up to you. All right, Pisces, that's all I have for you. I hope you enjoy the reading. And whatever you decide, my friends, the best of luck to you. I am going to do another one next week just to see what's going on with your energy. And after that, we'll see. We'll take it a week at a time. So I love you guys, and we'll see you next time.